Hello, welcome to my analysis video where I talked about potential upcoming trades for this week. We do have a long list for today, so I'm going to go straight into it. The first currency pair that I'm watching, and this is a follow-up from last week, is the Australian dollar Japanese yen. So from last video, I mentioned that there is a potential for a breakout of both 79.80 resistance, and that has happened. And right now it looks like a retracement is happening. So what I'm going to be doing is I will put a price alert at 79.80 because price hasn't quite reached it yet. And what I'm looking for is a pullback that's going to be a little bit deeper. So it has to at least touch 79.80 to activate my trading. And then we'll be looking to enter using a buy limit, hopefully catching the move when it comes up. Let's have a look at my trade long on AUDJPY, and this is now going into its 5th week. So it's been more than a month that the trade has been open. Last week price got very close to my target. It was about 8 pips away, but now it's just pulled back a little bit. My target is still gonna stay there, nothing is gonna change. But what I've done is I've rolled up my stop to break even because the swap charges is negative for this pair on a long trade, meaning that I have to pay swap interest if I'm holding a long position. My stop loss is now actually at 7 pips, and in fact by Wednesday it's gonna go up a little bit further so that if it does turn around completely, at least I'm out of the trade break even after all trading costs. Next is the Euro Japanese yen, and what this pair has done is that Friday last week there was a big push up to what I consider to be minor resistance at 126.65. Yesterday there was not much trading activity at all. It does appear as though this could be an indecision candle. However, being a Monday, I'm going to be extra cautious. I'm going to wait until today's daily candle to finish to see if there is in fact sign that this level can hold as resistance and whether or not sellers can take control and push price down further. The plan for now is just to continue watching this pair, possibly on a lower time frame such as the 4-hour chart. As you can see here, this candle is a big concern for me, particularly when I want to be entering short, because it does tells me that buying pressure is still very strong. So let's see how this pair unfolds as the week progresses. EURUSD is the next pair on the list. After last week's move, this pair has hit resistance at 1.1300, and yesterday again there is sign of indecision. This indecision candle looks a lot better than the Euro Japanese yen. Today trading so far, the low of the indecision has been broken, but now price has gone up a little bit. The reason why I haven't entered is because of the Monday's indecision candle. I always take extra care whenever I see such a trading signal coming up from a Monday daily candle, because it could just be due to low volumes. What I'm going to be looking and what I want to see before I would consider a short, I'm going to wait to see how today's daily candle closes. Specifically, I want to make sure that price can close at or below 1.1300. So today's candle needs to close below this level for me to still be interested in the short. Next is the cable or the British Pound USD. So volatility for this pair has dropped dramatically in the last week, particularly on Thursday and Friday. There's hardly any movement at all. And right now, in terms of support and resistance, this pair is sitting between two of my levels, 1.32 being resistant and 1.2980 being support. Interestingly, I can see that there is a series of lower high, and it looks like price has been pushed down. So looking at my trend line here, you can see price has been respecting this downward trend line. It started right here. If it continues to hold and respect this downward trend lines, it might end up doing this. That's what I think it would happen. Of course, it can very much go the other way. If it does come out to be like this, then I know at the point where this happens, I could be looking at a potential opportunity to short. So that's what I'm going to look for in this pair before I plan what I'm going to do with that. Next is USD Canadian dollar. And interestingly, this pair has been ranging. So there is a potential for a range trade. I'm going to go down to the smaller time frame, the 4-hour chart. And what I can see is that price has been stuck in this range. So the bottom of the range is 1.33. That's acting as support. Top of the range is 1.3390. So we've got a 90 pips gap, and price has been respecting this level. So if it does continue, it does mean that price could be trapped in this. So possibly it might do this for the next couple of days. My plan is to see if price can actually break through the low of the previous few 4-hour candles. And if it can, then that would trigger a short entry for me, looking at a target just above 1.3300. Ideally, I like to see it happen fairly soon, because looking at what has happened in the previous two attempts, price got to this level, bounces back relatively quickly. So I like to see it happen at the same speed. If it hangs around for much longer than what it used to, then that will be a sign I need to be extra cautious about the trade. Next is USD Japanese yen. So we've got resistance at 112.10. This level has held price off one towards the end of February right here, and now it's been tested again. So looking for a possible sign of a reversal, looking to trade it down towards 111 again if it does happen. Right now though, there is no signal to enter the traders yet, so I will continue to watch and see what happens. And last on the list today is a commodity. It's gold. I do have gold on my trading list. I don't trade it very often simply because I find it a little bit more difficult in terms of the price action patterns that I can see. However, last week and this week I begin to notice a pattern that I can understand. So what I've got on my chart is the daily chart of gold, and I've marked down 1280. 1280 is a support level that I can see, and price has been respecting that here and here. I've also noticed that price has made a series of lower high. It looks like it's stuck in a downward trend. So we've got 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. My hypothesis is that if this continues to happen and price continue to respect this downward trend line, gets to a point where there's just going to be too much selling pressure and support might give. So ideally, I'm going to be looking at one more test of this downward trend line, and if price gets rejected, it may in fact collapse. And that is the key. This is where I'm going to be looking to trade. Like I said, I find it a little bit more difficult to trade the commodities, especially gold and silver. So if the move does come up, I'm going to be waiting at least on the daily chart to see a daily candle that can close below 1280. If that does happen, depending on the size of the candle and what happens during the candle, I might enter right at the open of the next candle, or I might wait for a pullback to retest 1280. I don't know what will happen, but that is going to be my plan for trading gold. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one.